What about the question that President-elect Trump raised in that interview we saw right there, the competition with China? Where are we? Where's China?
Well, I used to think we were a couple of years ahead of China, but China has caught up in the last 6 months in a way that is remarkable. The fact of the matter is that a couple of the Chinese programs, one, for example, is called DeepSeek, looks like they've caught up. And this is even after these extraordinary efforts by the Trump and Biden administration to withhold high-powered chips. The Chinese are clever, and they understand the power of a new kind of intelligence for their industrial might, their military might, and their surveillance system.
I want to read you something that Sam Altman, one of the pioneers of AI, said last week. He said, true superintelligence, the system that is not just smarter than you and smarter than me, but smarter than all of us put together, just unbelievable capability. Even if we can make that technically safe, we're going to have some faith in our governments. Are governments doing what they need to do to regulate this?
Not yet, but they will, because they'll have to. The way this will work is that I've done this for 50 years. I've never seen innovation at this scale. It is literally remarkable human achievement of intelligence and the things that we can do and the advances in science and on and on. There's a point at which, maybe in the next year or two, where the systems can begin to do their own research. They're called AI scientists as opposed to human scientists. So you go from having 1,000 human scientists to 1 million AI scientists. I think that increases the slope. When you're moving at this space, it's very hard for your competitors to catch up. That's the race. It is crucial that America wins this race globally and in particular ahead of China.
But those are two different races, aren't they? You're talking about one, it's the race, the technological race, but also it doesn't appear to me, at least knowing my experience with government, that government can keep up with what the corporations are doing.
They're going to, one of the things the book talks about is the government has a role, right? Dr. Kissinger felt very strongly that the future of intelligence, what I'm talking about, should not be left to people like me, right? The technologists should not be the only ones making these decisions. We need a consensus about how to put the right guardrails on these things to preserve human dignity. It's very important.
So how do we develop that?
Well, it will come over time. Now, with the Trump administration, we have a new set of people who will examine this. In my view, in the Trump administration, it'll be largely focused on China versus the U.S., which is a good thing to focus on. And the U.S., as long as human values, and by that I mean democratic liberal values in the classic sense of individual freedom and respect for an individual, are preserved, we should be okay.
So if you were emperor of the world for 1 hour, what are the 3 things you'd order to get done to control this?
Well, the most important thing I do is make sure that the West wins, which means more money, more hardware, more people, that kind of stuff. The second thing that I would do is identify the worst possible cases and build a second system that watches the first. Humans will not be able to police AI, but AI systems should be able to police AI.
Eric Schmidt, thanks very much.
Thank you.